Hello again, everyone. This is Rocket Rick J18 bringing you a video spotlight of 3 cards which represent the very beginnings of my 2-stage career as a baseball card collector. The first card I'm showing you is representative of the very first card I ever collected, going all the way back to the spring of 1959. I was walking home from school, which wasn't a very long trek, and I passed by a kids' baseball field. I was in the first grade, and up against the backstop I found an opened pack of 1959 baseball cards. I wasn't exactly sure what it was that I had found, because I don't think I was aware of what baseball cards were, or possibly even what baseball was at such a young age. But oddly enough, I do remember that one of the cards was the 1959 Curt Flood card. Now, this was Curt's second year card, so he was early in his career as a baseball player, as I was early in mine as a baseball card collector, although my career as a baseball card collector hasn't been that lucrative. I've had to make my money elsewhere. So this is the story of how I got initially started collecting baseball cards, and Curt Flood is the key to that. The next card I'm going to show you is the first card that I acquired upon my second return, or my return to collecting baseball cards in 1986. And it is, of course, a 1960 Mickey Mantle. I went to a card show at the local Holiday Inn in my hometown, and I was a huge Mickey Mantle fan growing up, and remained a Mickey Mantle fan through the end of his playing career, and followed him and his activities after his playing days were over. I'm going to try to get the glare off of this card a little bit. It seems like it's kind of not possible to do. Maybe that's a little bit better, huh? So Mickey, being my favorite player, I thought, well, I'll get a Mickey Mantle card. And I was able to acquire this one in raw condition for the princely sum of $25, which I happily added to my collection. A number of years later, I think probably around 1991 or so, I don't remember the exact year, but it was the year that the All-Star game was played in Cincinnati, I believe. And Cincinnati had a big card show there the weekend before the All-Star game. So I went to it, and one of my sons went with me. Um, and Mickey Mantle was an autograph guest. So I got this card autographed. And I labored over the decision to do that because I had heard, that if you had a card autographed, that lowered the value of the card. So I asked a couple of other collectors that I had met at the show for their thoughts on it. And one guy said to me, he said, that card's not in the greatest of condition. And so if it does lower the value of the card, it's not going to be by much. And that turned out to be the best advice I think I've ever got in collecting baseball cards. So I got it autographed, and I kept it in the raw form autographed for many years. And really earlier this year, I sent it away to PSA and got it dual graded. The card came back a 2, and the autograph came back a 7. And you can see why. It's over the years, the Sharpie that it was signed with has faded a little bit. Probably from taking it out and looking at it so much. So anyway, but I'm very happy with it. And of course, the value that it has to me is really more of its just meaning to me in the story of my hobby history, rather than as a valuable card, which I'm sure it is. Look at the cards on eBay that are autographed, and they're selling for quite a bit of money. So, but that's secondary. I'll never sell it. So that's you can ask my wife if I'll ever sell any baseball cards, and she'll immediately tell you no. I think maybe she wouldn't mind it if I did, if I applied it to a vacation or something, something to do with the house. The third card I'm going to show you is a card from the set that I can say I really sort of first seriously collected of any substantial amount of cards. And this is the Manager's Dream card from the 1962 Topps set. It's card number 18. And as you can see, it features Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays, two of the greatest players ever in the history of baseball, in my opinion. And I was dearly in love with this card. I thought, man, they named this card right, Manager's Dream. What manager wouldn't want to have Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays? So it was a card that I cherished. Unfortunately, I do not have any of the cards I collected during my first hobby collection period. And I can't blame my mother. She didn't give them away or throw them out or anything like that. But when I got to be about 17 years old, I had a car, I had a girl that I liked, and I kind of forgot about baseball cards, and so I actually gave them to a younger kid in the neighborhood, and he was happy to get them, and he may have them today, I don't know. But I'm not unhappy with what I did with my first round of cards, and I've since replaced all of those cards and added many more along with it. So anyway, this is my baseball card story of how I got into baseball cards the first time and how I got into baseball cards the second time. So this is a Rocket Rick J 18 If you like this video and like this channel, please like and subscribe. And in the meantime, I hope all of your collecting dreams come true.